So we begin in Amos chapter 1 and verse 2. The first word here is vayomar, vayomar, which is a vav consecutive of the verb aleph mem resh in the basic stem, and here. Now, oftentimes in the Hebrew scriptures, when we have the vav consecutive of this verb, it appears as vayomer, vayomer, with the accent on the penultimate syllable, vayomer. So Masorah points out that in this word, and I'll zoom in for you a little bit here, is originally where there is a segol, the short E vowel here, is in Proto-Semitic an A vowel. This becomes a short E in an open, unaccented syllable. Vayomer. That is the normal form that we find in the Hebrew scriptures. However, in Amos 1:2, the stress shifts. So this is an example of how Biblia Hebraica Quinta faithfully presents the text of the Leningrad Codex even when it is incorrect. And this is the job of a diplomatic edition. When you read the Greek New Testament, that is presented as an eclectic edition where a text is created from all of the available manuscripts. And so the Greek New Testament is a scholarly reconstruction of what the text of the New Testament ought to look like in its earliest version. But a diplomatic edition simply presents the text as it appears in a manuscript, regardless of its problems. And this is a great example of that. So in the Tiberian tradition, this should read Mitzion with a dagesh in the tzadi, the dagesh being evidence of the assimilation of the nun. Now the next word in the phrase is yishag, yishag. And this is a third masculine singular prefix conjugation verb in the kal stem, the basic stem, whatever you choose to call it, the G stem. What's interesting about this form is that it has a kamatz, not a patach. We typically observe pause at the end of a verse on the very last word where the siluk takes place, So if you go to the Biblia Hebraica Quinta Masorah Parva electronic module or just look in any of the fascicles, you will find a glossary of terms found in the Masorah. And if you scroll down to Tet, you will see this accent here, which stands for the Aramaic bita'ama, which means with this accent. Technically, there's no word for this here, but that is the meaning of the Masoretic note. When we go to BHQ at Amos 1:2, we will see that they print the note Zion Beit Tet Ayin, because that's how it appears in the Leningrad Codex. The Aleppo Codex leaves off the ayin, but it means the same thing. So 7 times with this accent. Now BHQ explains for us in the Masorah Parva commentary that this refers to the 7 cases where shalshelet stands on the first word in the verse.